What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down why this route didn't work, episode 3, okay? So what this is going to be focused on is a post route versus press coverage. So what you guys are not supposed to do against press coverage, that's going to be the route we're taking a look at first. And then what you guys should do against press coverage to be able to get some separation when you guys have a post route, whether the DB's inside shade, head up, outside shade, maybe trying to get physical. These are the ways that you can get separation, some of the things you shouldn't do, okay? But before we get started with this video today, fellas, I want to talk to you about our ultimate wide receiver package on our website. So it's an ultimate training package with a specific wide receiver gym program that we offer separately on our website. So it's a 28-day, 4-week plan and our wide receiver technique Bible with all the technical aspects, a step-by-step process to improve your game at the wide receiver position. We cover everything from catching all the way to blocking. So if you want a package deal with both of those programs in there at a discounted price, check out that very first link in the description, fellas. You can get it today on our website. Hope we get you guys on that soon. Again, very first link in the description. Let's get started. So first route is by Thayer Thomas here. So now, the only thing I don't like about this is it just takes a little bit too long, right? So when it's like a hard post, when it's a quicker post, you can't be going with a slide release off the line. That's the main thing that I want to discuss on this. That's the main thing that's why this route, and yes, this route worked, but I want to talk about why this will not work in an actual game. Because here's the deal. When you work that slide release, right, especially on a post, I don't know a quarterback who's going to be throwing a hard post late over the field, right? So I don't know a quarterback who's going to maybe necessarily drop back, take 5 steps, go from like right to left and hit a post on time over the middle, right? So it's just not realistic. It's the same thing as like a speed out. You guys shouldn't be using a slide release on a speed out or a slide release and make all these moves and then run a comeback. Maybe like a hezzy slide where you just go, like you slide, you keep them on the inside, then you just run. But a slide with a move on it just takes a little bit too long. Now here, I want to talk to you about why. Because if you got to run this post, right? So let's say it's like, let's talk about maybe here. So he slides, makes this move, and this post is about a 10-yard post, right? That's usually like a bang 8, right? So where that quarterback's just catching it, taking a 3, and it's out right now, right? Especially against man coverage. But maybe you got one high free safety back there, right? Maybe it's a cover 1 situation. If it's cover 0, I'm probably not waiting for you to let this thing develop. Because if you guys have, so let's say there's one safety back there, and let's say you get a man coverage look like this. Quarterback could probably be getting like 6-man pressure, right? And so this is very detailed stuff, but this is how you have to think, especially in the offseason. Quarterback could be getting 6-man pressure. So I know that he's probably going to be getting, if that running back stays in, let's say it's out of 2-by-2, pretty basic formation, right? Maybe it's empty, right? Or something like that. But they're going to be on man protection. They're going to be bringing 6, running back stays in. They're bringing 6, so it's 1-on-1, right? So if one guy loses a block, quarterback's under pressure and he's got to get the ball out of his hand. So if I'm sitting here and I'm doing this slide release where I slide, make this move, quarterback does not have the time to let this thing develop, right? He does not have the time to let you make this break and get out on this route. Now, especially if it's cover 0, the quarterback only has 8. They're probably bringing 7, right? So they're going to be probably bringing 7 guys. So the quarterback ain't wasting any time. So if you're sitting here and he hasn't seen you get off this press because you're doing a slide release, then you burst upfield, man, I ain't going to you with this route. The only time that this I could see working is if it's like a 2-man situation. So if it's man coverage, but maybe they got some safeties over the top, right? And the quarterback's only getting pressure by maybe 4 guys, and we got 6 guys back there. We got max protection, 6 or 7 guys, then maybe we could come back to this thing late. But I just don't like this personally when it's a man coverage scenario, because you don't want to work a slide on a post, because that will screw up the timing of the play, and that quarterback will not be sitting there waiting for you, especially if he's getting some pressure, okay? So we got to make sure that we understand how fast we need to get off the line when I got to run a post route against press coverage. I can't be wasting too much time, because if I waste time, that's how the quarterback doesn't come back to me, and that's how I don't get the ball in the future, right? So we got to make sure that I know what releases I can use. First read releases, especially on a post route. And that goes for anything like a timing speed out, timing comeback, anything that involves that, whether the quarterback's got to get. That's why you got to understand the whole play concept as a whole. That's why you got to be able to read defenses as a wide receiver. So when the quarterback needs you to be at a spot, you're there, you catch the ball, and you just go. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. Again, just takes a little bit too long. And yes, he's got speed up into the break, but dude, I just don't like this because of how late we're hitting this throw, right? We're hitting this throw like maybe like a little bit past the hash mark, right? Which isn't necessarily horrible depending on the spacing of it. But again, it's just got to make sure that we keep timing, especially when I'm running a post, especially when I get man coverage. You guys got to understand the type of man coverage that it is. And I don't want to get out of this route. A, you can get out of this route too quick, but also B, I don't want to get out of this route too late to where the quarterback's already moved on and already going somewhere else. Okay, so now let's look at this route here from Rashod Bateman. So this is kind of what I'm talking about here with this post. And you see how quick this thing is right off the break, right? The second he breaks, breaks, 1, 2, he takes 3 steps and that ball's already there and he makes this catch, right? So now that's the timing of the play. I'll play this thing full speed again for you. He gives a little triple step release, bam, runs this post, it's out. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about why he decides to go with this, right? He's off the ball, so he's got a little bit more space to work. But so in that situation in the last clip, we had a little bit of space to work right here. But you don't see him working a slide release, hitting him with a 1-2, and then running this post and taking the inside release. You see him do kind of the same concept, moves this DB off the platform, gets him to move outside, then I take the inside release and run a post. However, it's a quicker movement. You're still accomplishing the same thing, but the timing is different. You're taking a quick 3 triple step release. Some people call this like an icky shuffle release, like that ladder drill, right? So it's just honestly, it's just about keeping timing with the quarterback, especially when you got to run timing route versus press coverage. So you see how when he comes off here, he gives him just this 1, he gives him this 1, 2, 3, where he goes 1, 2, 3, and he throws that upper half to the outside. You're working in this range where the DB can't get hands on you. Now I can take the inside release and I get up. It's just 1, 2, and I believe he breaks this thing off that 3rd outside step, bang 8 post timing. Quarterback just gets this thing out right now and bam, right in that window. He needs us to be in that spot right away. That's where we need to get to that spot. You don't see him wasting time. This is where a lot of guys get screwed up, is because right here, this is as game realistic as it gets, right? You're lined up on the outside. You got to run a post. Quarterback expects you to be at a window. It's a timing throw. I guarantee you this quarterback probably went a 3-step drop and just hung out on that 3rd step maybe for like a split second and let it go, right? He didn't sit there and go hold the ball, take 8 shuffles up like you see in 7-on-7. You guys got to treat 1-on-1, 7-on-7, everything that you do, you got to treat it like a real game scenario, right? I could care less too if you're treating it like a game scenario and maybe you get pressed off the line, maybe you just get totally just because you didn't do all the fancy shit and this guy's right with you stride for stride, maybe he makes a play. But at least we're working on stuff that I'm going to actually translate to when I have pads on. It's going to translate to actual on the field work. It's not about winning when you're in t-shirt and shorts. It's about winning when you're full pads ready to go, because trust me, a lot of guys can do the drill work. A lot of guys can do the fancy one-on-ones. But when the pads come on, the routes get lazy because they just realize, oh, shit, I got to actually get to that window. The quarterback expects me to be there. Timing actually matters. It's not one-on-ones where the quarterback can take 8 hitches. So we got to understand timing of the play, any route against press, and an actual game situation, okay? Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Bateman, setting him up to the outside, hits this thing off that 3rd outside step, and is in that window the quarterback expects him to be at. That's a great route right there. That's how you run that post versus press coverage, okay? All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, fellas, Ultimate Wide Receiver Training Package, a specific wide receiver gym training program, and our technique step-by-step manual to become a better overall wide receiver, okay? Everything from route running, catching, all the way to blocking, IQ side of things like we mentioned in this video. Hope we get you guys on that soon. Very first link in the description, like I said below, and I will see you guys next time.